This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Is your relationship stuck in a rut at the moment? A relationship expert has listed the 3 red flags that prove that your relationship is doomed. This is Professor Suzanne Degsy. She's a couples therapist and she's listed the 3 flags. Can we play a bit of a game? You got some music for me there, Jess, that we can get into?
This is fun. I mean, this is assuming that people aren't into red flags. I mean, some people see a red flag and go, this is right up my alley. I feel like a bit of hell this year.
What's a dozen Degs have to say, mate?
Oh, that's not bad. Here we go. Okay, the first one is if you live with your partner, but you subconsciously delay going home to them.
I thought that was normal.
Well, tick for Fitzy on this one. No, I'm not.
Oh, we've all sat in the car out the front.
No.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, come on, Kate.
I don't get as far as the car out the front. I just don't leave the office.
Well, that's the big one that they said. If you delay leaving work, Kate, and you stick around for a bit longer, or you find excuses with nights out with friends, your relationship's doomed.
Okay.
Oh, God, okay. Is that just the one red flag? Is that it? Is that like one of them?
No. Second sign is not responding to texts. This is a big one. I like to get back to text messages pretty quickly. And I've always been really good with my wife. I'm not a big fan of people who take ages to respond. I think it's rude.
Mate, you couldn't have brought up a more important point. I think it's unbelievably rude. And to know that I sit alongside someone who is famous for being a bad communicator on text message.
Whip, you're not an angel here,
Hang
mate.
on.
Yeah, and also you're not
angel.
my husband.
Yeah, but there's a lot of sexual
Thank
chemistry.
God. What? Oh my! If you think that what is going on here is sexual chemistry, you need to go to a head doctor and have yourself looked at. But I am pretty bad, Fitzy. I am, and I have been criticised about this
terrible
in relationships as well. Like one of my most common texts that I receive is, "Are you alive? Did you die today?"
Hello.
Yeah. That kind.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Do you know the number of a good head doctor? Okay, so that's your second sign. The third red flag is based around the future. Suzanne Degsy's revealed that feelings of positivity and hopefulness about the future should be high on the relationship agenda, rather than regrets about what you could have been. I tick this one massively.
Do you?
I could have. You know what? I could have kicked more goals. I could have done this.
Honey,
now I'm stuck here with you.
What if I'd married Jenny?
Yeah, I was going to be a hero. I was going to be that guy.
Gunner. Those people that woulda, shoulda, gonna. Those.
That is a big one. I mean, there are moments. Don't get me wrong. There are moments where we look at each other and smile about the future, like when the kids move out of home. That's a big one.
But you don't sit there with your partner and think, or even say out aloud. You don't sit there and think, "Oh, gee, I wish I'd married that person." Do you?
I think sometimes you do.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I think
I would have been far better off. Do you know who does that?
Who?
People that settled in relationships where they went, you know what? I may as well end up with them because there's nothing else out there.
Yeah, but I don't think that people consciously settle.
Yeah, they do.
Not all the time.
It happens all the time.
I think people can settle, but I don't think when they're settling that they know it's settling. It just feels somewhat...
Deep down they do.
It feels safe. But I disagree. I think there are people sitting in their lounge rooms or maybe even at the dinner table if they're not eating at the coffee table in front of the TV and they stare at each other across their curried sausages and they hate...
They hate each other?
Yeah.
How good are curried sausages?
Oh,
that's not the point of the story.
The curried sausages. I mean, look, if you're eating curried sausages with someone you hate, things could be worse.
Yeah, well, not really, because then your breath's going to smell too.
No,
but it's not a threat because you're not going anywhere near them. Imagine getting into bed with someone and they just roll over and don't even give you a kiss goodnight or say I love you.
Oh, people, that's happening all over the country.
There's a real separation going on at the moment, isn't there? Truckloads of couples sort of still coming out the back of
It's-
COVID, and they're
it's the
realising
modern-
they want more.
It's the modern relationship, mate. You can imagine marriage counsellors are just on fire.
Do you know
at the moment,
what?
aren't they?
I grew up with a girl who I've known for a very long time, and I bumped into her the other day.
Well, if you
You're
grew
out
up with
a
it,
lot.
well, if you grew up with her, you obviously have known her for a while.
Yeah, and she is like a very popular divorce lawyer. I don't even know, are they family lawyer? Is that what you call a divorce
Yes,
lawyer?
that's, yeah.
Anyway, she
What do you
is
mean popular? You mean busy?
busy, flat knacker. And you know what happens? Couples realise that they're going down that path. They both know that she's the best in town as well, and they race to get there first before the other one does.
So then you say,
Yeah.
sorry, you can't use her, I've got
I'm
it.
with that person.
Is it
So she's
would that-
representing me.
Yeah.
Are you getting satisfaction when you look at your bank account every day, though? Are you getting satisfaction when you're representing people who are going through such a rough trot?
Do you know what she said too? She said the first thing I tell people if they come to me is to get off the grog. Get off grog, get off any drugs, get off any bad substances that you might take.
So you can be clear.
So you can be clear, because what happens is if that person wants to say, well, hang on a minute, he's a bad parent, he abuses substances, well, then they have the right to request a drug test, which can be done via a hair strand. So you send off a strand of your hair. So if you're clear from the moment you go there for that divorce,
How
then
am I going to send off a strand
you're
of
going to have to
hair?
grab a short and curly, mate.
It's going to have to come from your other.
Can I ask, can they use one of those hairs to test?
Yeah.
Of course. I would imagine
assume so.
I think it's very sad that she's advising people to stay off alcohol and banned substances or illegal substances purely so that they don't get in trouble with their partner, rather than that it's probably best for everyone involved, including the children.
Well, I mean,
said,
it probably
Kate.
well said, Kate, and best thing you've said all day.
all year.
Not that it won't
probably.
be for the rest of the year. There could be better. We don't know. But that's what she said. And it's like people are racing to her. She's never been busier.
What proper races? What, there's a start line on that?
And they go, bang, go, get her,
Okay,
got her
off you
first.
go.
Oh, I got her.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.